must say it is a sad day. It is a very bad day for Zambia. I think a lot of you people were expectant of the body to arrive in the country, and unfortunately, at the last minute, things couldn't just happen. I must also say that I didn't intend to talk. I was hoping, really, I've been hoping that everything would go well, and I was going to come and give my general analysis of everything on the 24th, I think, 24th of June. Unfortunately, with the turn of events, I have to speak. I am prompted to speak, but I will restrict myself to the events maybe of today, or how things have changed, how things have moved up to where we are today. I've seen that people are calling already, but please allow me to make a little bit of a presentation, to make some remarks, and then you will call in. So please just hold on a bit. I will get those phone lines. I want to take as many phone calls as possible, and I want people to express themselves about all this. Now, so the body was supposed to come. Everything was ready. The plane was there at the airport, and even the South African Defense Force, they were there to mount a battalion, whatever, the guard of honor for the former president. So everything was ready. And then all of a sudden, people expressed concerns. And they went into a meeting, and in that meeting, they reached a deadlock. I was somehow privy to what was going on when the people of government went there, and I was somehow privy, but I have been very what is the word? I've been very conscious of what I've been saying during this time, because I didn't want this to change. I somehow anticipated it. I somehow anticipated that the body might not go. But I didn't want to be one of the reasons why these people would have jumped on anything. I knew that these people will latch on anything to hold on to the body or to bring confusions. These people, from the word go, they didn't want, I want you to understand this, from the word go, they didn't want this funeral to go smoothly. They didn't want. From the word go, I knew that these people will not want things to go smoothly. This is why when I heard that President President Edgar Chagwa has passed on, the moment I heard it, I went live and said, please, can we mourn in dignity? That was my first message. And why did I call for that? It is because I anticipated this kind of nonsense. But I went on to advise my friends. in PF that they should behave themselves. Because I know them. The confusion you are having, this confusion has not started today. This confusion has been there even when they were in power. This is why PF lost power. It is because of this kind of unreasonableness. This is why PF lost power. Because they have been so unreasonable. It is like when Sata died and left them. PF has never been the same. When Sata died, PF has just been disintegrating. It has just been disintegrating. They survived the 2015 elections because they were in power. That's why they survived. They survived 2016 elections because they were in power. But they couldn't survive 2021. They couldn't survive it. They were, I mean, these people are unreasonable. These people are selfish. And that is why they lost power. And even after Edgar Lungu came out, me, I'm coming out like this. I know some of you have been saying, no, but you were supporting this. But yes, I was part of the inner circle, and you can't deny me that. You can't deny that fact. I was part of the inner circle. I used to sit with my Edgar Lungu. We used to confide in each other with my Edgar Lungu. But unfortunately, most of the things, most of the plans that we were coming up were being frustrated by the selfishness of the PF. By the selfishness of the PF. That is why things were crumbling. Some of you have been, looking at me and laughing at me. Hey, but yeah, you tried this, it failed. No, me, I didn't fail in anything. I didn't fail in anything. I was failed. It is the PF who failed me. If the PF were reasonable, they were ready to sacrifice, we wouldn't be where we are. I wouldn't be in exile. I wouldn't be in exile. But the PF failed me. That very Makebi Zulu that some of you jump around and say, hey, Makebi Zulu used to help you. Makebi Zulu, whatever. They failed me. And they are failing Edgar Lungu even in his death. Even in his death, they are failing him. So these people, I knew that they wouldn't like everything to go smoothly. No. They would want this confusion, and this confusion, it is all intended for them, to position themselves for their selfishness. They don't care. They don't care about anything around, or they don't care. I mean, some of you are even saying, hey, no, for us, you are in exile. For us, we can come and forgive you. We can forgive you when we get into power. To start with, you are busy talking about power, which you don't have, and which you won't get. Read my lips well and hear me right. You are fighting for power as if you have got power. You are behaving like you have got power. And you are busy fighting over this power. You are even offering some of us amnesty. Which power do you have? You don't have power. You lost power in 2021. You lost it. And at the moment, it is just that you are politically naive. Some of you have been in politics for a long time, but your selfishness clouds your judgment to see things for where they are. You fail to see things for what they are and how they are. At the moment, but PF, you have got no legs to stand on to get power. Nothing. PF doesn't even exist. There is no PF. There is no PF. PF died with Sata. PF died with Sata. You say, moi survived. You survived because Sata left you in power. You survived because of the structures of the state, not because of your strength as a party. You have never been strong ever since Sata died. You have just been weak. No, but napa. Chapwa fenokupana chipwa fena chipwa fie. Tapali. PF tapali. Those members of parliament who are called the PF, you need to work very hard, because if you think about PF, you will never come back. You will never come back to parliament. You will never come back to parliament because there is no PF. There is no PF. Where is PF? Where is PF? Thank God you are even there. Otherwise, there is no PF. There is no PF. That Hakainde Ichilema, just that, of course, he cannot rattle you more. But otherwise, he can come for you. Most of you MPs there on PF ticket, you can come and rattle you. You would be out of parliament. But of course, he cannot do that because he doesn't want to crumble parliament. But PF, there is no PF. So, Whatever nonsense that you are saying, hey, Tayali, whatever, we are going to forgive him. Hey, we will not forgive him. You are foolish. You are foolish, I'm sorry to say. You are foolish. You are foolish. You think, who are you going to? Which amnesty can you give me? Which amnesty can you give me? Where do you stand? Eh? Some of you are worse off than me. You are worse off than me. Some of you are saying, hey, Tayali, you are talking like this because you want to come back home. Hey! Wake up! Wake up! Me, I've got international protection. International protection. I have full asylum status. Full asylum status. It is as good as citizen. I can be here 30 years. I can be here for as long as I live. I can be here. I can be here. So that cheapness of no, instead of looking at what I'm talking about, he wants to come back. I am not in a hurry. I will come back to Zambia, that's for sure. That is my country. I will come back. But I am not desperate to use it to Mbichawa Lungu to come back. I am not desperate to use it to Mbichawa Lungu to come back. No, I am not in that position at all. I am not in that position. I'm not desperate. I am not desperate. Whatever, hey, Balunga, whatever sponsor, hey, Shawana Shantawana, I am so solid. I am so solid where I am. There is no desperation. There is no desperation. Because at the end of the day, Ngachashu Pasan, I can even go in a refugee camp. Where I am entitled to be receiving Utuman Tuankane to support, at least for me to eat. I have got a status where they will not let me to die of hunger. No. I have a status whereby they will not let me to stay on the street. My status gives me entitlement to accommodation. My status gives me entitlement to food. So, I don't experience load shedding. I don't experience amatipa. I don't. So why am I going to be desperate to Kutambo? No. The issue is that it is you people. That's why I called you political vultures. It is you people who are feasting on Edgar Lungu's corpse. You want to survive. You want to survive. People, they are using all those of these reasons. Whatever reasons that they are giving you, those reasons don't make any sense. Don't fall for them, you Zambians. You Zambians, don't fall for the arguments of Makebi Zulu. No. Makebi Zulu is at the center of manipulating all these things. Makebi Zulu is at the center of manipulating these things. I know there are only, at this point in time, I can say only two people are driving this agenda. Only two people are driving this agenda. I'm only going to mention Makebi Zulu because Makebi Zulu is a politician. Makebi Zulu is in the battlefield. The other person I will spare. I will not bring that name. I will hold back. But I know that among the people, because there are only, if you talk about it at the family, there are 4 people. If you talk about the family, there are only 4 people. These two are being manipulated. And I'm telling you, I would be mentioning your names, but you know yourselves. 2 people are being manipulated. 2 people are the ones driving this agenda. And they have got ulterior motive. We can even run through. Look, where did we start? We started with them saying, no, first of all, they were hiding. They were hiding. They were refusing that Walungu Tawafuide. They were refusing. They wanted to hide. But you know, I mean, a former head of state, you can't. Some of us, we knew in the morning. And We tried to confirm. I tried to confirm with some of the people who were there. Those that had interest, they were refusing. Those that had interest, they were refusing. But those who were innocent, they confirmed. But I sat back. I didn't come here on social media to announce. I waited until Tasila came up. And it was out of pressure. I'm on at, knife Makari. You know. The question is, why did they want to hide that Lungu is gone? Why did they want to hide? They wanted to hide. Not that I'm saying this. No, it is true they wanted to hide that Lungu is gone. But unfortunately, it came out, it leaked, because when he died, Balungu had gone in the hospital on different details. They didn't use his name. They used different details. But remember, when a person dies and they want to give a death certificate, that's where the problem came in. That's where the problem came in, because they couldn't give a fake name. They had to write a proper name. And that was when news filtered. And even some of us came to know that Balungu was gone. We tried to call people that were in South Africa. They were refusing. Awe. Until later on, you know, it came up. And actually, I argued with someone. I said, no, come on. You don't tell me if you're not from Africa, you know. And I left it there. So first of all, they wanted to hide. The question is, why did they want to hide? Then secondly, after Vyachti Kanoba Baxter announced, what did they come up with? They said, no, Edgar Lungu Mwadimu Keresha. You neglected Edgar Lungu, so we will not bring Edgar Lungu as a former head of state. We will bring him as a private whatever. So the first thing that they came out quickly and started accusing government that government had withdrawn support to Edgar Lungu. And that's why he had died. That's the narrative they wanted to bring. That's the narrative they wanted to bring. They wanted to blame government. The first thing that they wanted was to blame government, to blame Hakainde Hichilema, that Hakainde Hichilema has killed Edgar Lungu. Unfortunately, they met with the facts leading to the death of Edgar Lungu. Because the records are there. The records are there that this man started, the medical doctors discovered his ailments back in 2015. Back in 2015. And I can tell you that it was not just in 2015. It was even before Edgar Lungu became president. When Edgar Lungu was asked on ZNBC about his ambitions to become president, Edgar Lungu refused to say, I am not interested. And one of the reasons that he gave, it was his health. So Edgar Lungu knew that he had a condition. He had a health concern even before he became president. And we saw a number of issues that unfolded during Edgar Lungu's presidency. So when they realized to say, this will not stick. This will not stick. They brought in what? That's when they brought in number. When Avena Aimbe came, they brought in to say, no, why they came here? They want to get the body. The government went there in good faith. Our former president has died. Let us go and bring his remains in a dignified manner. Let's honor him. But they came up and started accusing now the government about the body now. That's when the issue of the body came. The goodwill of the government of Hakainde Hichilema to go and repatriate the body, they turned around that and started making it look suspicious. They turned around and started making it look suspicious. Hey, why do they want to get the body? Why do they want to get the body? And again, they brought in now this issue. No. There's something they want. There's something they want. And look, on the other side, you remember Nakachinda was busy, holding press conferences, He was busy moving, you know, from one media house to the other. And what was Nakachinda saying? Nakachinda was verifying our country. Nakachinda was verifying Hakainde Hichilema. To say no, you know, he neglected him, he whatever. He neglected him. And that issue, some of us came and explained, why did the government withdraw Edgar Lungu's benefits as a former head of state? It is because he went back in politics. It is because he went back in politics. The government did not withdraw Edgar Lungu's benefits because they hated him. No. Because the facts are there. The facts are there. When Edgar Lungu left State House, there was an agreement, and the agreement was very simple. You resign from politics and allow me to lead the country. Allow me to lead the country. You have done your part. Okay, I've done my part. Here is a letter I'm writing. He wrote a letter, gave it to cabinet. I have resigned. And on that letter, the government fulfilled its obligation as written by the Constitution, as prescribed by the Constitution. They started giving him the benefits. They were giving him the benefits. They were giving him the benefits. He was getting paid. He was, even medical issues were being looked after, everything. The only thing that were remaining, it was actually the office. You know, they gave him a house, and they even gave him an office. They even gave him an office because we discussed about that. We discussed that with Malungu. I knew about it. They gave him a house, and he was doing it up because I was telling him, Vakateka, we need to set up, you know, with this agenda that we have. You need to be sitting in an office where people can come and see you. And he told me, yes, government has given me the house, but I want to do it up so that it looks okay. Then there was an issue of vehicles. 2 vehicles were supposed to come. And that was in the pipeline. Everything was being fulfilled by government. And with my knowledge, talking to Walungu, government had fulfilled almost 70 to 80% of those conditions they had given. They had given. And talk about the relationship between Edgar Lungu and Hakainde Hichilema. It was not as bad as the Makebi Zulu wants to put it. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Because these people, they were somehow in talking terms. They were somehow in talking terms. This is why you saw some of the things that were happening. They didn't escalate to a situation where it was so bad. One example that I can give you, which is in the public domain, is the issue of Faith Musonda. The issue of Faith Musonda. That issue would have gone awfully wrong. That issue would have gone awfully wrong. But because there was interaction, that situation was somehow managed. The issue of vehicles, some of the vehicles that were gotten, there were a number of vehicles that were lying around in the country. There were a number of vehicles that were lying around in the country. That issue was managed. I can tell you for a fact, I'm not interested in supporting Hakainde Hichilema, but I can tell you for a fact that Hakainde Hichilema has held his side, has respected whatever they discussed in Arabi's house, because these things were negotiated in Arabi's house. He maintained, because the issue is that Walungu was scared that if Hakainde Hichilema takes over power, he will go after him. And Hakainde Hichilema pledged that, no, I will not go after you. I will not. And Hakainde Hichilema, up to today, we are saying, that Edgar Lungu was never brought before police. But Edgar Lungu was never questioned by investigators. Never. Never. Hakainde Hichilema would have gone to parliament to go and remove the immunity of Edgar Lungu based on a number of this and that. Not that Edgar Lungu was corrupt. No, he wasn't. He wasn't corrupt. But look, if the guy, and I mean Hakainde Hichilema, and I don't mean disrespect when I say the guy, if Hakainde Hichilema wanted, he was after Edgar Lungu, There is no way he would have failed to come up with something that he would have taken to parliament to argue to say, let's remove the immunity. There is no way. He would have done it. He would have done it. And remember, there was even this argument to say his immunity ends after he comes out of office. There were certain issues that government would have brought on Edgar Lungu and they would have arrested him. But Hakainde Hichilema didn't do that. I am saying all this, I'm talking about what Nakachinda was doing. Because Nakachinda was trying to paint an image that the government of Hakainde Hichilema, they were after Edgar Lungu. They were after Edgar Lungu. But I'm telling you to say, no, they weren't. They weren't. Before Edgar Lungu came back into power, the whole issue, then we had a funeral of Arabi. On the funeral of Arabi, Hakainde Hichilema called Edgar Lungu. He called him. They had a conversation. Why did he call him if he disregarded him, if he had no respect for him? But he called him. He called him. And the only thing that Edgar Lungu came and complained was that, no, these people are being hypocritical, particularly Chakwa Arabi. These people are being hypocritical. Why? Because here we are, but my children are being investigated. So, whatever issue, Edgar Lungu was not touched. The issue was with the children and the wife, the things that they had. And of course, this is why you can say that shouldn't have been. And I agree, that shouldn't have been. That issue of following the children, the wife, it shouldn't have been. But nonetheless, that was there. Anyway, with all that which was happening and following other people, one of the reasons why the government was actually going around Edgar Lungu, sniffing Edgar Lungu to see where the money is, it is because Edgar Lungu had continued to appear on the Registrar of Societies as president of PF while he had written a letter to cabinet. So there was a mistrust while Hakainde Hichilema was fulfilling what they had agreed. But Edgar Lungu on the other side, he was somehow secretly holding on to the president of PF. I want you to write the history correctly. Why was Hakainde Hichilema sniffing around Edgar Lungu among his children and his friends? It was because Edgar Lungu had not removed his name on the Registrar of Societies. He had not removed. He was still there. And it bothered those in administration. It bothers Hakainde Hichilema. This person, why is he still holding on to this party? Why can't he let go of the party? I am saying this because I was privy to these discussions. I would hear from the government and I would go to Edgar Lungu and we would discuss this. And Edgar Lungu said, no, I am holding on, not that I'm holding on, it is because I want to hand over properly. I want us to have a convention. That is why I'm holding on. It's not that I'm interested in politics. And I would go back to government and say, my president has said no, he is not interested. He's not interested. But no, on the Hakainde Hichilema, they said, no, we believe this guy is interested. That is why the government kept on hovering around him. They kept on hovering around him like sniffer dogs, you know, because they didn't trust his position. Anyway, fast forward, he himself, Edgar Lungu, came out. He himself came out to say, I've come back into politics. And of course, I mean, unfortunately, I didn't have an opportunity, or the government didn't have an opportunity to come and tell me, so we told you. But anyway, he came back into politics. And when he came back into politics, publicly he came back. Government had to withdraw. The condition, the benefits. It had to withdraw. It is not about Hakainde Hichilema not liking this guy, no. You can't say that, because before Hakainde Hichilema respected the constitution, Hakainde Hichilema respected Edgar Lungu. So what Nakachinda was busy talking about in South Africa, it doesn't hold water. It doesn't hold water. Hakainde Hichilema proved that he wanted to look after Edgar Lungu without all this nonsense. The problem was, Edgar Lungu, at first, he was not sincere, whether he has left politics or not. In spite of him writing a letter to cabinet, he kept on being the president of PF. That was a problem. Then later on, he came back now publicly to say, I've come back. And when he came back, that is when they withdraw the benefits. So it is not right for you people to stand up and start accusing the government or Hakainde Hichilema to say, no, he neglected him. He did this, he did this. No. Edgar Lungu went back into the political battlefield. And when you go into a political battlefield, I mean, what do you expect? You need to fight. You need to fight. It is who is strong. When you go back into a political battlefield, you have to know. And this is not only peculiar to Zambia. This is everywhere. Politics, anywhere. When you declare yourself a politician and you enter into a political battlefield, don't expect that, your opponents, especially the incumbent, will treat you nicely. No. And this is where the issue of, Edgar Lungu wanting to fly out and Hakainde Hichilema and his government, they will be resistant. He wants to go this side, they will be resistant. Before Edgar Lungu was able to go out of the country, without any problems. He went to South Africa for that medical. He went to South Korea. I know. He went to South Korea. There were no issue. It is only when he came back into politics, that is when problems started for him failing to go out. And he was failing to go out because they were not clearly bringing out to say, no, this is the medical condition. No, they weren't. So that Karaka mistrust kaya epoka ishide. Karaka mistrust epoka ishide. Because others now were saying, no, they let him die because they were refusing him to go. Yes, he was in the political battlefield, and these people didn't trust him. Each time he said that, I want to go out for medicals. This guy maybe is going to get $dollars officer outside. Which, of course, they were not dollars which Edgar Lungu hid outside. No, they were not dollars. They were not dollars. I want to tell you, because some of you have been thinking that, no, Edgar Lungu had stashed money outside the country. I want to tell you, on a firm ground, that there is no money that Edgar Lungu has left hidden. No. I'm telling you for a fact, because in whatever we were doing, we were trying to raise money. In whatever we were doing, I am even one of those people. There are people that even me I had approached, asking for resources. Myself. You were thinking, no, Edgar Lungu is the one sponsoring you, whatever. No, Edgar Lungu was not sponsoring me. And I know some of you are asking, hey, no, what are you going to do? Edgar Lungu is gone. No, Edgar Lungu was not sponsoring you. Me. I told you that I'm still here, and I'll still be here. Edgar Lungu is gone. Edgar Lungu didn't have money. And there is no money that is hidden anywhere. Because if there was that money, myself, I would have been better off. If there was money that was lying around, I would have been better off. Many things failed in the country because there was no money. Many things failed because there was no money. So, no, he didn't have. So the point is that it's not that government, they wanted him to die. No, it is because of the politics that existed. And when he was going, finally, when he left, people are now, they are making it, Makebi Zulu is making it look like, Edgar Lungu, Aliva Paste Panankanipaya Airport Paja. Like they played, mafia, we never win. Tapadina mafia. Imwe. Edgar Lungu is a former head of state. Edgar Lungu used his passport to pass through the immigration of Zambia. Edgar Lungu used the passport. He used his passport. He didn't go with another passport. He used the passport to pass through the immigration, Mozambique. So are you telling me, is Makebi Zulu trying to say that our country is so porous that a dignified person, a former head of state, would pass through the immigration system without being detected. Does that make sense to you? Because Makebi Zulu is telling you that no, we just sneaked out. What? Therefore, kumipusha. Imwe. Do you think our government, our immigration system is so porous, that they would stamp a passport, a diplomatic passport, Yaba Edgar Lungu, boom, blind, boom, kabien. Do you think that can happen? These people, I'm opening your eyes. I want you to see how untruthful Makebi Zulu and Nakachinda are being. They are being untruthful. They are being deceitful. They are deceiving you. If Edgar Lungu passed through the immigration, how did he pass through the immigration, the system, without being detected? There is no way. I passed through that airport. I went through that airport. It is not because I was too clever, whatever. No. They saw me, Chiruva Tayali, going. No, but what about Edgar Lungu? And think of it. Edgar Lungu did not go on a private charter. No. He went into a commercial flight. And we know how long it takes. Where by the time you check in, by the time you have to wait, you start boarding, you check in, there is a time. More than 30 minutes. More than 30 minutes. You check in and they close more than 30 minutes before they close checking in. You have to wait for 30 minutes before you board the plane. So, and you must know that immigration system is online. Immigration system is online. So, Balungu, Bali Dinda passport yabo, and it even went online. And 30 minutes waiting. 30 minutes waiting. In Deke number, you have to board. Even when you are boarding, after boarding, you don't leave at least 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You will still be sitting in the plane. So, by Edgar Lungu, before he left that airport, definitely he was at the airport for close to 1 hour. 45 minutes to 1 hour. He was there at the airport. Is Makebi Zulu telling us that our country was sleeping? The government was sleeping. The government was sleeping for close to 1 hour. Are you telling me our country is that porous? Is that porous? No, it's not that porous. It's not that porous. I mean, I've been those of us who have been traveling so many times, our government, our institution, our airports are not that porous. Don't believe what Makebi Zulu is saying. Makebi Zulu is lying. He's lying. If government didn't want Edgar Lungu to fly out, they would have stopped him. They stopped him before. So, what I'm basically saying, I agree with what Secretary to the Cabinet said. And look at that when there is so much excuse me. And look at when they agreed, that they have agreed. Look at the joint conference, press conference. They had agreed. But look at how Makebi started. Did Makebi start as a party that has agreed to certain issues? No. Makebi didn't start like that. Makebi started fighting. No, he started running through the negatives. Who does that? Because what's the purpose of negotiations and coming to an agreement? You come to an agreement, and when you come out, even if whatever, you don't come out and start stating negatives. Go back to that joint press conference. You see Makebi Zulu, instead of, it was an agreed one. Joint press conference. You're supposed to come out speaking the same language. But was Makebi Zulu speaking the same language? Because you are saying, no, these people, the government has not held on to the agreement. But just look at the way Makebi Zulu came out when it was announced that these two parties have agreed. Look at how Makebi Zulu came out. You tell me, between Patrick Kangwa and Makebi Zulu, tell me who exhibited maturity, who exhibited a willingness to sticking to the agreement. Who, just that press conference will tell you who was not in agreement. Just that statement, just that joint statement, he will tell you who was not willing to abide by the agreements. Because if Makebi Zulu was willing to abide by the agreement, Makebi Zulu would have not brought in the issues that he brought. That press briefing would have been cordial, would have been very nice. But unfortunately, Makebi Zulu clearly showed that he was not committed to the agreement. He showed it. By the way he started, the things that he brought out. No, then the government, we wanted to go around the country and we are hoping government can still reconsider. Who does that? Is that an agreement? Is that an agreement? You have agreed. This is what we will do. But you come out and you say, no, we hope government can reconsider. Have you finished negotiating? Have you finished negotiating? No, we hope government will consider, no, whatever. It clearly showed that those people were not committed themselves. They were not committed. And you must know that they agreed and government wanted to announce. I've got this information. Government wanted to announce to say, oh, we have agreed. The wisdom, Hakainde Hichilema, was very wise, because when they agreed, after they finished agreeing, they phoned Lusaka, they phoned President Hakainde Hichilema, and he told him, boss, we have finished the negotiations, we have agreed. You know what Hakainde Hichilema said? Hakainde Hichilema said, you know, since these people have been going back and forth, make sure that when you announce, you are together. That's what Hakainde Hichilema said. Because I was anxious. Me, I've been knowing what is happening there. So I was anxious. I'm like, why are they not announcing? Why are they not announcing? So I started making phone calls. Hey, you guys, what's happening? What's happening? Then they said, no, we cannot announce. Because the president has said, let them do a joint press briefing. That's how they did a joint press briefing. And true, Hakainde Hichilema was right. Because from the way they spoke, at least, we could see that these people were not willing to agree. So if they had not announced together, they would have easily turned around. It is good that they did a joint press briefing. Otherwise, it would have been difficult for us to know who was committed and who was not committed. But by the fact that they held a press briefing together, and yet Makebi Zulu was still raising issues, it showed that they were not committed. There is no way you would agree. And then, when you are announcing, you start bringing up issues that you are still not happy. It means you are not happy. It means you are not committed. So, let them not cheat you today to say, no, government is not holding on to its bargain. No. These people have been breaking the promises from the word go. There was a break in the promise from, when they agreed, when Hakainde Hichilema was taking over. There was a break where Edgar Lungu said, I've resigned, but he didn't resign. He didn't resign. Up to today, that's why we have this situation. He didn't resign. Then now, even, in a lot of other issues that came up, there have not been an agreement. There have not been an agreement. A lot of other issues. Even these court cases, even some of these court cases, I can tell you, because I am privy to a number of these issues. And I'm telling you, some of these issues wouldn't have escalated to a level where they did. If only there was sincerity on the part, and I'm sorry to say, on the part of the PF. If there was sincerity, things would have been different. Even in this one, in the death of Edgar Lungu, if there was sincerity, I don't think we would have a situation the way we have it. So now, they are, okay, now let's talk about what is it that they are talking about to say, no, they have broken the promises. What have they broken? What have they broken? They have broken the promises. First of all, in that press briefing, you know, Ntwani Makebi Zulu brought it out to say, no, Edgar Lungu didn't want Hakainde Hichilema to attend the funeral. Joint press briefing. Go back to that press briefing and see if there was an agreement on that. There was no agreement. Because Makebi Zulu, even at the end of the day, he was still insisting to say Hakainde Hichilema should not attend. And that's how Patrick Kangwa had to come in and say the president is going to administer. That's how Patrick Kangwa had to come out to put that. So already there was a shift. They had agreed in the background. But Makebi Zulu come out and he says, no, these are the wishes of Edgar Lungu. And we hope government will respect the wishes of Edgar Lungu. Makebi Zulu is manipulating the situation. Makebi Zulu is not a family spokesperson. Makebi Zulu is acting like the lawyer. A lawyer who has an interest. That's what he's doing. Apa is not even a lawyer of Edgar Lungu. He's a lawyer of himself. Makebi Zulu is a lawyer of his own interest. Makebi Zulu is a lawyer of his own interest. He's not even a lawyer of Edgar Lungu. He's not even a spokesperson of Edgar Lungu. He's not. It's Makebi Zulu and this other person. And then this other person is just following. These other two people are just following. That woman that you saw, the sister to Edgar Lungu, what does she understand? What does she understand? What does she understand? Tell me, what does she understand? Yeah? Because now we have been questioning, where is the family? Where is the family? So Makebi Zulu brings the sister to talk. You talk first. Those are tricks of Makebi Zulu. You talk first. And she's saying, it's me who was appointed Makebi Zulu. And listen to the way she's saying, hey, lelo wakambaivi. What has government said? Lelo wakambaivi. You can clearly see that the poor woman doesn't understand. She's just being briefed. Do you think that woman knows about the roads? Makebi Zulu is talking about the road. What is the issue with the road? What is the issue with the road? What is the issue with the road? Government doing a road, because I've been briefed that the roads that they were doing, they are patching up where there were water and whatever, but because the body will be going kunganda kuliba Edgar Lungu, so they had to do up the road so that the traffic can flow easily. Isn't that goodwill? Mwebe Kalacharo, isn't that goodwill? Because the government now learned that no, the body should be going kunganda. So is that wrong for a government to go in and make sure that the road is okay? Is that bad? How does that become an abrogation of an agreement? How? On the part of government. How does that happen? Because government has clearly committed the report that they gave us, okay, or the program that they gave us. It was very clear that the body will be going to Edgar Lungu's house, and to prepare that, they did part of the road where they thought that here it is not okay. How does that become a problem? Then there is another issue that they are raising. No, because at the airport, where is the body going to the pavilion and whatever. What are they saying? Did that report say that at one point, Hakainde Hichilema would be alone with the body? Where in that report did it say that at one point, Hakainde Hichilema will be alone without the family members? Because their argument was that wherever the body will be, there should be a family representative, and the former the bodyguard for Edgar Lungu should always be there, should always be present. So at which point in that program did they say, no, at this point, the body will just be Hakainde Hichilema and the body? Eh? At which point? Because they say, no, government has changed. Government has changed. Tell me in that program where it is suggested that Edgar Lungu's Hakainde Hichilema will be alone with the body. Where? So what have they broken? They said, wherever the body will be, a family should be there. So in that program, at which point are they saying that they want the family not to be present? Because it's very clear, it was very clear. They made an issue of that. Eh? And then, Makepi Zulu, wants to control who should speak at every event. Makepi Zulu wants to be consulted. Makepi Zulu wants to be consulted. Makepi Zulu has to approve who is going to speak. And what is this? It is about, no, Edgar Lungu's wish was that Hakainde Hichilema should not come near the body. Makepi Zulu, he wants to eliminate, to remove the head of state from a state funeral. How? How? Where? How can that happen? You are having a state funeral and you want to remove the state, the head of state. How? What kind of reasoning is that one? What kind of reasoning? Nangunda sapotefia bupuba. Even if I agree nonsense, even if you are talking about loyalty, no, Edgar Lungu was very close to you, whatever, you are betraying. I mean, honestly, what kind of nonsense is that? Where can it happen? And even about this body issue, there is superstition here. I told you about this superstition. There is this superstition which has come in to say, no, Edgar Lungu, Hakainde Hichilema, if he comes to the body, Katushinga Kasenda Kwefishimba is going to get whatever. This superstition that has come in, it is just absurd to me. It is absurd to me. It is really absurd. It is preposterous. Because if you are talking about Hakainde Hichilema killing Edgar Lungu, Ngari Kwato Wanga, if that Hakainde Hichilema has got some sangomas, has got some juju of some sort, why didn't he sort out Edgar Lungu when he was in State House? Eh? That man struggled to win an election. That man failed to win an election 5 times. 5 times Hakainde Hichilema failed. Ngari Kwato Wanga, why didn't he do that magic to become president? Why? Eh? He won an election with ballots. In an election. He won in an election. Why didn't he do it? Why didn't he clear Edgar Lungu no Wanga Wakwe when Edgar Lungu was in State House so that he goes there? Why didn't he do that? Why should Hakainde Hichilema come and kill Edgar Lungu when he is already in State House, he's already president? Why? Why? I mean, I can't understand you. If that Hakainde Hichilema kwato wanga, if that Hakainde Hichilema kwato wanga bukali, nishitamu ipaile Edgar Lungu ili wali mu State House so that aingiram. Nishwa Hakainde Hichilema wale pona my elections 5 times, wale pona 5 times, wale pona aba kwato wanga. Lero wali mu State House umuntu. Lero wali mu State House. Then you can kill this guy. Yeah? I mean, let's be reasonable. And then fine, he should not come near the body. He should not come near the body. No. If whatever it is, if it is the body they want, if it is the body they want, if whatever they want to do, you can go and bury. But they can go and remove them, whatever they want. Arabi is lying there. Kaunda is lying there. Who even goes to check? Who even knows if the bodies are there or not? Who even knows? If there is African magic, there is magic that has to be done. I mean, honestly, there is a lot of time. Hakainde Hichilema is in State House. He has got a lot of time to remove, to take that body and do whatever he wants with it. If indeed, there is something that he wants from that body. Because you have got those superstitions which you are bringing in. Whatever, fine. He can even stay away. If he really wants whatever, he can do that. And even now, because you are watching me, South Africa. If Hakainde Hichilema wants something from that body, are you telling me Hakainde Hichilema can fail to access that body? Imwe, apa mwikele, na mwikala. Na mwikala, muletamba. You are very upset with me. You are watching me. You are very upset wherever you are. You are enjoying life in South Africa. If Hakainde Hichilema is so pressed that he wants something from Edgar Lungu's body, are you telling me a president would fail to access that in South Africa? Are you telling me that? Are you for real? Are you for real? If Hakainde Hichilema alefo akwefishimba kuli body ya Lungu, ushakwena kutafirwa ukuya to access that body, he can access it. He can access it. So all this nonsense that these people are talking about, it is not about government has failed to do that. Government has broken the agreement. There is no agreement that has been broken. No agreement. The issue is that they just don't want. They don't want. And they don't want because they have got funny ideas. Funny ideas in them. They are looking at, that corpse, that body of Edgar Lungu. They are looking at it as a stepping stone for their political mileage. They are looking at it as a stepping stone for their political mileage. They want to maximize this situation so that they can gain some political mileage. They know that once to ashika ni nchichapwa. They know that once to ashika ni nchichapwa. When we bury, then that's it. Then that's it. These people, they are getting their attention because they have the body. They have the body. That is their treasure. Like that woman who kept the body in the house. Now I understand. Ngatuashika, it is like Mwava Poka now, they have nothing. Makebi Zulu will be nothing. He will be nothing. Makebi Zulu is enjoying being the center of attention. A press briefing, Shan, he is enjoying. Once to Ashika, who is going to listen to Makebi Zulu? We will Makebi Zulu call for a press conference. Who is going to go there? Who is going to go there? Even if he goes live like the way I've gone live, Makebi Zulu can't even get 400 people watching him. He can't. He can't. So, that's why they are holding on to this. It is not about the agreement. Don't be cheated. It's not about the agreement. That is the last straw they have. That is the last straw. They lose that body, they are done. They lose that body, they are done. That's it. That's it. Life will move on. So, they are prolonging this. And they are holding the country at ransom. They are holding the country at ransom. And then they want to embarrass Hakainde Hichilema so that they can show that Nawanaga Kwatako to power. Hey, Hakainde Hichilema, with his wisdom, with his patience, with his restraint, they are taking him for a fool now. They are taking him for a fool. They are taking him for a ride. They think they have got power. They think they have got power. They are looking at Hakainde Hichilema that he has no power. To them, because Nabakwate Chitumbi, Hakainde Hichilema has no power. Because Nabakwate Chitumbi, Edgar Lungu is ruling Zambia. He's ruling. They are making him rule. All of us, we are paying attention to them. We are paying attention. We have to listen to them. No, let's listen to them. It's the family of Edgar Lungu. Because Edgar Lungu nafwa. So let's listen to them. How we you? No, let's listen. Let's listen. No, it's the family. It's the family. To hell. To hell. Leave them. Leave them. Leave them. These people, when you see people trying to get too much attention, you leave them. Leave them. Leave them. Leave them. Let them stay with the coffin, with the body. Let them stay with the body. We cannot go on. We can't go on. First of all, as a country, I mean, it has got an economic impact. Secondly, I mean, it is a drain. It is a drain. Those people that are in South Africa, they are getting money. And we can't go on. We can't go on. Hakainde Hichilema, to me, he has clearly shown maturity. He has clearly shown patience. He has done extremely well. And for those people, are PF, you don't know our politics. That's why you don't know our politics. You don't know. You have really campaigned for Hakainde Hichilema and Demieva. You don't know how you have met that man. Because even me, who is an opponent to him, he has played you well. He has played very well. A lot of people are in agreement with Hakainde Hichilema. Look at social media. Look at social media. A lot of people are agreeing to say, no, this is too much. To Anaka, we are tired. So, whatever sympathy that you wanted to draw out of Edgar Lungu, you have lost the opportunity. You have lost the opportunity. You could have made proper mileage out of this by being reasonable. You would have gotten more from the Zambian people by being reasonable. You would have gotten more from the government by being reasonable, engaging with them. But Makebi Zulu was even coming out. No, we are not even talking about the cases. We are not interested in the cases. Hey, the cases were not part of the negotiations. Makebi, Mwechawandi, you are being foolish. You are being foolish. You are being foolish. Your pride has crowded your judgment. It has crowded your judgment. You are being foolish. I'm telling you. I'm sorry. I'm not, people, somebody was telling me that, no, use a good language. There's no any other language I can use for Makebi. He's being foolish. Because when he's boasting to say, we are not interested in the cases. We're not interested in the cases. Those cases are real. Those cases are real. And if you really care for that family, if you really care for the first lady, if you really care for the children, you would not be talking arrogantly on those cases. You would not be talking arrogantly on those cases. You would not. I mean, the best that you could do at this time is to, use whatever opportunity that you can have to have some of these things negotiated. I, for one, I am still insisting that in spite of all this, we shouldn't continue seeing Esther Lungu going to court. I am insisting, and I will be talking about it. Because some of you might you really get confused. You should look at issues as they are. Me, I look at this issue, that issue. So when it comes to the Lungu family going to the courts, I will stand with them. I will be advocating that these cases are not, they shouldn't continue. I will be advocating for that. But Makebi Zulu is not wise. Makebi Zulu thinks he's intelligent. But the young man is not intelligent. The young man is not a politician. The young man is a failure politically. Makebi Zulu, you are a failure politically. And I would advise you to stay in court and not in politics. Because in politics, you have already failed. You failed. They gave you a constituency. You never campaigned in Malambo. You never campaigned. You never campaigned. They just put you there. Bam! You became a member of parliament. But they even give you Minister of Eastern Province, where your constituency was. And you came, and you were beaten. You lost flat. It clearly shows you're not a politician. Then look at the cases you have been advising. Many cases. Me, have been on the other side. Even this issue of eligibility, I was talking differently about this issue of eligibility. But you, Makebi Zulu, you thought you are powerful. You go aiming all the judges, Balakutina, hey, Shan, and they will ruin your favor. Ndara, my politics aya. Eligibility was a political case. It was a political case. And when you are dealing with political cases, it doesn't matter how intelligent you are a lawyer. Ndala, politics takes its course. politics takes its course. That's why in Dekoverati, you are a failure in politics. Stick to your law and don't meddle in politics, because you are just messing up, and you have messed up the funeral of Edgar Lungu. You have messed it up. You have messed it up. You are manipulating those women. You are manipulating those women. You could have done well to advise those people. And you are being so stubborn, so disrespectful. The people that have been engaging you, you have been taking them like children. Barawaka Vindere is a former vice president, a very successful man in all respects. But you have been treating him like whatever. But Patrick, I mean, you have no respect. Even that guy, Mulambo Aimbe, I mean, even me, I may have my own issues on Mulambo Aimbe. But the fact is that the guy is a minister, or is a minister. The guy is representing government. And you are not Makebi Zulu. You are not. There is a government. You are not a government, Makebi Zulu. But PF, but given you are not a government. Haka in the Ishirema with his friends, they have got a mandate to rule that country. They have got a mandate. We may not agree with them, but they have the mandate to rule the country. We can criticize them, but we should not sabotage them. We can criticize them, but we should not sabotage government. Because when you sabotage government, you are destroying the entire country. You are sabotaging the whole country. What you have done so far, holding the country on pause, you are not just messing up Haka in the Ichilema. You are messing up the entire country. You are messing up the entire country. So, it is very wrong. It is very wrong in politics. You can be, but you don't sabotage a government. You let the government, move. You have to allow the government to move. Yes, we can be arguing. We can want Haka in the Ishilema to go out. I want Haka in the Ishilema to go out so that I can come in. I want Haka in the Ishilema to go out so that I can come in. But I shouldn't sabotage the government, because when I sabotage the government, I mean, what am I going to rule? The same government I want to rule, I should sabotage it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You want to rule a house. The same house that you want to rule, you want to destroy it. And say, no, I'll build another one when this one is out of the house. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. So you guys are but you're not patriotic. You are not patriotic. You have held the country at ransom. You have brought our country on a standstill. You are embarrassing us internationally. Look at South Africa. South Africa, they had prepared the guard of honor. And you people, they had, the whole battalion was there. And they had to embarrassingly disperse. They had to disperse. Very embarrassing. Very embarrassing. South Africa respected us. They respected the relationship that we have. But you, Makebi Zulu, went and urinated on that. You urinated on that with your small thing. Eh? I mean, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. You can't be behaving like that. Everyone, even here, me, have been receiving messages of condolences from different people, because, I mean, I am an opposition leader in asylum. When things are happening there, they check with me. They check with me. They have been sending condolences. And I was updating them to say, no, to Kashika, Shanshan, no, we have agreed as a family, whatever, whatever. And now, just now, even there is 30 minutes ago, I was somewhere where I was invited to go and debrief some people. They called me. They called me. That's why I'm dressed up. I'm all dressed up. I am coming from there 30 minutes ago. They called me to, what is this? Hey, what is the situation? We just wanted to understand. This is the predicament that you are putting us in. You have embarrassed our country because of your little ego. Because of your little ego, your inflated ego. You think you are somebody. You are not. You are not. You are nothing, Makebi Zulu. You are nothing. Let those who are in government lead. Now, government, don't continue on this trajectory. Enough is enough. You have got a responsibility to rule a country. We can't continue on this trajectory. You can't. Hakainde Hichilema, you have done enough. I'm sure the people of Zambia have seen how you have exuded maturity, gratuitousness. The people have seen your magnanimity. They have seen your patience. They have seen it. They have appreciated. Move on. Those people, leave them. Leave them. Let them do what they want in South Africa. If they want to bury in South Africa, let them bury in South Africa. But I don't know what the South African government will say to give them a burial payment to bury a former head of state in their country. Because he's a foreigner. He's a foreigner. He's a foreigner. And he's not just a foreigner. He's a former head of state. Will South Africa give a burial permit for a foreigner in their land? Will they do it? Will they do it? A former head of state. Because as far as I'm concerned, when you are politically aligned, it's very difficult the way governments handle things. Even me, Emuntu Wamba, I've not been in government. But by the fact that I am politically aligned, the way the government here will treat me is different. It's different. If I were to die, I don't think this government here will simply say, no, it's okay. He was a political asylum. Come on. But no, they won't. Now, what about Edgar Lungu? What about Edgar Lungu? You think the burial payment to South Africa? You think the battalion will go and shoot, boom, 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 bury? You think they will do that? You think they will do that? Leave them. Leave them. Leave them. How many days are they going to stay in South Africa there? How many days? How many days are they going to stay in South Africa? They are living in a rented house. The body where it is, they are paying for the body to be kept there. They are paying for the body to be kept there. So for how long are they going to keep that body? For how long? They are staying in hotels. They are staying in hotels. Some people, somebody was telling me, no, they have got money. They have no money. They have no money. Let me tell you that. Don't be cheated to think that, no, those people have got money flowing in and whatever. Just leave them. Just leave them. Leave them. Then let's see how long they will stay. Let's see how long they stay. You have tried, Kairi. You have tried your level best. But let's see how long they will stay in that South Africa. Even per secretariat, don't even be bothered. But don't even be bothered to fight with them. The people at the secretariat, they are going there. Let's see how long they are going to feed those people. Let's see. Let's see for how long they are going to feed that. Let's see how long they are going to continue with that nonsense going on there. Let's see. Leave them and come back and sit at Finlay is funding them. Voila. These people that you are mentioning, I know you are even mentioning that, no, Finlay has got a plane. No. Nothing. I know the financial capacity of PF. I can assure you, I know the financial capacity of PF. Most of these people that you talk about, Mashinafie, they are not as liquid as you think. They are not as liquid as you think. They are by-elections. Do you see them flowing money the way they are doing? Who do you see dishing out money? Who do you see? There is no money. There is no money. So leave them. Leave them until ngafiala pesha. Then they will come to government. For now, as a government, you cannot be begging. You cannot be on your knees as a government. You have got power. You have been endowed with power by the Zambian people. You cannot subjugate yourselves to an entity which has got no authority. I hope Mwangu for Winwapo. You have been given a mandate by the Zambian people to rule the country. So you cannot now take that power to Makebi Zulu, because Makebi Zulu has a body of a former head of state. That former head of state is the former head of state. He lost power. You cannot reinstall him in his death and allow him to rule the country. No. You are a government. We need to move on. Anyway, I think I've made my points. Please, you can start calling in now. You can start calling in now. and express yourselves.